Coming to you from the Orange Globe, my name is Dayton Brown, and welcome to an OG NBA podcast. Today is July 2nd, 2018, aka the second day of free agency in the great league that is the NBA. We have a lot to talk about in just a minute, but first off, thank you so much for tuning into our inaugural episode here at the Orange Globe. Again, my name is Dayton Brown, and I am your host here. I've written for Rip City Project, which covers the Portland Trail Blazers for Fansided, as well as for Who Dat Dish, which covers the New Orleans Saints of the NFL, also for Fansided. This podcast, The Orange Globe, is all about the happenings inside and out of the NBA, which includes players, coaches, front offices, fans, everything in between. The show is impossible without you, though, so please be sure to interact with us by leaving your comments below on this YouTube video, tweeting us at The Orange Globe, or myself at Dayton_Brown_. Would love to hear your thoughts on each and every topic and each and every episode, each and every week, so please let us know what you think. Currently, we're only on YouTube, but we will be creeping into podcasts and the Google Play Store. Let's just jump into it. We have a lot of news to get to concerning NBA free agency. It started, obviously, on Sunday, which was yesterday at midnight Eastern Time. July 1st, big day for every single NBA fan, whether you are a team vying for some free agents, a team losing some free agents, or even in the middle as a casual NBA fan, just waiting and watching to see where these big named players go. I'm going to get to the LeBron news in just a second. Let's start with returning players, guys who are staying with their teams. Obviously, number one, Kevin Durant. He did a 1-and-1 deal worth $61.5 million to stay with the Golden State Warriors. So that's going to be just about the same exact team as it was last year, besides a few role players that will be missing here and there. We're not sure who exactly yet. But yeah, Kevin Durant is going back to the Golden State Warriors. Who knows if he will stay after the season, but a one-and-done deal, or excuse me, a 1-and-1 deal could turn into a one-and-done deal if Durant decides to take his talents elsewhere. But we'll see. It's hard to leave that Warriors culture, especially if you're winning so often. Paul George, big surprise here, ends up staying with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He did opt out of his final year of the previous contract he had, only to sign a 4-year, $137 million contract to stay with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I do like this move personally because I don't want everybody going to the Lakers, and I was really expecting PG to go there. He decides to stay with the Thunder, play with Russell Westbrook. Andre Robertson's still on the team. You still have Steven Adams, and Melo opted into his contract. He's still there. But the Thunder could still make a whole lot of moves to free up some space, get another big-name guy. We'll get to another guy that they sign in just a second. They also kept Jerian Grant, who I think is a fantastic role player for them, really fits their system. So Paul George back to the Thunder, 4 years. It's actually a 3-and-1 type deal. So 3 years are pretty much set in stone. And then the final year is going to be a player option. The smart thing that Paul George did here is by taking this 3-and-1 type deal, it was the only way he was able to become a player that was eligible for the super max that we will get in 2 years from now. It'll be about a 6 or 7 year contract worth very, very close to $300 million. And Paul George, at the 2-year anniversary of him signing this deal with the Thunder, is going to be eligible for that. So very smart move on his part, obviously turning down a lot of money right now from teams like the Lakers, who would have really liked Paul George. But I think it is very smart of him to take this sort of deal so that he is in line to take that super max in a couple of years. Chris Paul signing a max deal again, 4 years, $160 million with the Houston Rockets. There was supposedly tension between the two sides because Paul wasn't really being guaranteed any sort of extension by the Thunder, or by the Rockets, even though there was a sort of nudge, wink when they decided to do the sign and trade for him about a year ago. But it looks like it got done. Paul is going to be with the team, probably going to finish out his career with the Rockets. Him and James Harden look to tear up some more havoc next year in the NBA as they did this past year with Harden winning the MVP. So Western Conference already really exciting. I haven't even gotten into the juicy stuff of this free agency period. Nikola Jokic staying with the Nuggets. He signs that, again, pretty much a max extension for him. 5 years, $140 million. Rudy Gay staying on a 1-year deal with the San Antonio Spurs. Getting back to Jokic real quick, though. I do like what the Nuggets are doing in terms of the way that they've been drafting. Because they've been kind of all over the board in terms of positions that they've been going for. They've swung and missed. Obviously, Emmanuel Mudiay wasn't exactly a great pick for them in the long run. But when you draft a really good center that turns out to be Jokic, you were going for a point guard there. You obviously have Jamal Murray on that team as well. You trade for Will Barton, who also is staying with the team now. So I do like what the Nuggets have going on, and Jokic is going to be part of that for a long time. Rudy Gay staying with the Spurs. Aaron Gordon, a lot of teams thinking he was going to be going to maybe the Brooklyn Nets. He decides to stay on a 4-year, $84 million contract with the Orlando Magic, the very young, very athletic power forward. Hopefully is going to be part of the major change of, I guess, culture for the Orlando Magic, because they haven't had a lot of success since Dwight Howard left that team, and they are consistently in the top 10 in terms of NBA draft selections, which is never good. You obviously do get talent, but one of those guys, Mario Hezonja, went to the New York Knicks. And when you start losing guys like that, really high draft picks, and you haven't been winning with them, it's really time to rethink the way that you approach stuff. So hopefully this is going to be a good turn for the Magic, because Aaron Gordon earned that second contract. I think he's only going to get better for them, so we'll see how that plays out. JJ Redick staying with the 76ers, 1-year, $12 million deal. I really do like it because he is obviously one of the best veteran shooters in the NBA, and the 76ers really need that with Ben Simmons controlling the ball. So very nice chemistry there. JJ Redick developed with the young guys. Derrick Rose staying with the Timberwolves on a 1-year deal. Ersan Ilyasova going back to the Bucks, I believe, for a 3-year deal. Derek Favors signed a 2-year deal with the Jazz, north of $34 million. I do really like that, because I think Derek Favors, although he was projected originally when he came into the league to be a bona fide stud and a star almost at power forward, he is a great role player and bench guy for the Utah Jazz, who, like I said, will only continue to get better. So I really like that signing. Marco Bellinelli, same with the 76ers. He's 32 years old. I did not know he was that old. Obviously, we know him a lot from his days being a San Antonio Spur winning a championship. That was 4 years ago. He was already 28 at the time. He's played a lot in Europe, so he is a veteran there. So another nice veteran signing, I guess, retain for the 76ers. Fred VanVleet, he kind of took the nation by storm as being one of the best six-mans last year. He's staying with the Toronto Raptors. They really like him over there. Gerald Green staying with the Rockets. Aaron Baines staying with the Celtics. And Joe Harris staying with the Nets. Some very, very nice role players for those teams. Now let's get to the new faces in new places. We're obviously going to start with the big name, the one guy everybody had their radars on, going to the one team I did not want him to go to as a Portland Trail Blazer fan. I did not want LeBron James going to the Los Angeles Lakers, but he did. He has signed a 4-year, $154 million contract with the LA Lakers. The final year is a player option, so it is similar to that contract that Paul George signed, just $17 million more dollars. So it's official. I mean, all signs towards the end of this whole fiasco with LeBron and leading up to the first day of free agency pointed to him going to the Lakers. It is official now. His representatives met with some people from the 76ers a few hours before he made his decision, so I feel like he already had his mind made up. It appears Magic Johnson, of course, had a huge role in landing LeBron. As soon as his private jet landed from his vacation, Magic Johnson was on it, talking to him, closing out the deal. So LeBron's now going to be a Los Angeles Laker. It's going to be weird to see him in the purple and gold. But obviously, when you look at LeBron's career, he understands basketball more so than anybody else, so I do not fault him for going here. Obviously, I just didn't want that to happen, but he sees a lot of talent in this team. He has trust in Luke Walton. Obviously, I think that he's played with, he had Ty Lue for a little bit going there. David Blatt was kind of experimental in the NBA, so he has played with less experienced head coaches than Luke Walton, so I'm not worried about that really for them. I am worried as to how they're going to surround him with necessary pieces that can help them win this year, because I do not think they are a championship caliber team, even with LeBron on the team. We'll get to a couple other guys that they sign in just a second, but I still don't think the impact is there yet. So they're going to be trying for Kawhi, which we'll get to in just a minute as well. But I do think that they need to do some more. But obviously LeBron sees something. So LeBron James, Los Angeles Laker, we'll see how that ends up working out. DeAndre Jordan, finally, I mean, it's not 100% official yet, but it looks like he won't be locked into a room. He will be signing with the Dallas Mavericks on a 1-year, $24 million deal, pretty much the money he was going to lose out from the Clippers when he opted out of that contract. So I really do like Jordan on the Mavericks. I wish it would have happened a few years ago before that whole fiasco with the Clippers. They ended up leaving him anyway, and he was just kind of stuck there by himself this past at least half season when Blake Griffin got traded to the Pistons. So good for Jordan going back to his home state. He is going to have a lot of fun playing with Luka Doncic, learning from Dirk Nowitzki. You still have Dennis Smith Jr. over there. So it's going to be an exciting team. I'm really glad for Jordan and this Mavericks team, finally everybody getting what they want. Another veteran on the move, Trevor Ariza, is actually signing with the Phoenix Suns, 1-year, $15 million deal. Good deal for Ariza. For the Suns, I think that this is an upgrade. Really, over almost anybody on that roster in that position besides Josh Jackson, who is still developing. So putting Ariza with those young guys, that veteran leadership and mentorship is really, really going to help Josh Jackson, who was obviously the 3rd overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft. So that's going to help his development out quite a bit, actually. So I'm excited to see Ariza on the Suns. A lot of these guys going to the West, and that's common occurrence. So the other two guys that the Lakers picked up, you got JaVale McGee, obviously center from the Golden State Warriors, 2-time NBA champion, and Lance Stevenson, former rival for LeBron. So you get good veteran role players there. Lance Stevenson started playing better with the Indiana Pacers past couple years after some, I guess, just mind-boggling struggles he had in Charlotte after signing that really big deal. Then he went to Los Angeles. Then he went to Memphis. Just really couldn't find his footing. So now that he is on the Lakers with LeBron, we'll see how that ends up working out. Fierce competitor, as is JaVale McGee. So I'm really excited for that. Unfortunately, Ed Davis is going to the Brooklyn Nets. Unfortunately, I say that as a Portland Trailblazer fan. Damian Lillard does not like it either. Neither does CJ McCollum. And the entire population of Rip City really, really hates this. 1-year deal, $4.4 million. Really, what the most upsetting part about this is the fact that the Blazers could not open their wallets up for $4.5 million for Ed Davis, who he's been probably the most physical guy on the team, providing the most hustle in and out, and definitely the best backup center in the league, as Jason Quick reiterates on his Twitter account over and over again. Best backup center in the league, and I truly believe that. And I think that he was getting better as it went on with the Blazers. You don't see that happen a lot with the veteran. Now he's going to be on the Nets. I wish him the best of luck. Luckily, it's only 1-year deal, so hopefully we can try to get him back next year, because I'd love Ed Davis on my team for the rest of life. I tell you what, he is just grit and grind, really. I mean, he was drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies. He really fits that persona, and it really benefited the Portland Trail Blazers, so it's going to be sad to see him go. Nerlens Noel is going to the Oklahoma City Thunder as well. I do like that move. He was, I guess, outcasted in Dallas, even though they really wanted him to shine for them after trading away Kyle Anderson to the 76ers a couple of years ago. Noel never really came to fruition for the team, though, and now he signed a 1-and-1 deal with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So hopefully that young athleticism can help out that bench for Oklahoma City that struggles often when Russell Westbrook is off the floor. We saw it a lot last year, even the year before. They need really good role players coming off the bench, so hopefully Noel can provide that. Glenn Robinson III is going to the Pistons. Elfrid Payton is going to the Pelicans. Doug McDermott is going to the Pacers. Omri Caspi is going to the Grizzlies. And Nick Stauskas is coming to the Portland Trail Blazers. Not really a move I wanted to announce. I don't really care for Stauskas, but he will be donning a Blazers uniform, at least in the preseason. We'll see how long he actually stays on the team. He is a 1-year veteran contract is what he signed with the team. So we'll see what the former lottery pick does for the Portland Trail Blazers. That's about it as far as right now. I know I missed a couple, but they're not too big names. If I did miss anything major, let me know in the comments below. Obviously, this was recorded at 1:25 Pacific time on July 2nd, so obviously moves will be happening afterwards that I won't be able to get to on this episode, but I will on the next episode. And before I close out, Kawhi Leonard, I'm not sure if he's going to be going to Lakers or not. I don't think they want to give up, because here's the thing for the Lakers. You sign LeBron, fantastic. Now, do you want to pair him up with Leonard, or do you want to keep the young guys that you currently have? Because if you want to get Kawhi, you're going to have to trade away some combination of Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, some first-round picks. Zubac is going to be involved there. Most likely Julius Randle can be involved. So if you're the Lakers, you can look at it one or two ways. You can either have LeBron be surrounded with these young guys and also sign with the amount of cap space that the Lakers do have with some wily veterans, obviously a little bit better than Stevenson and JaVale McGee, but you could get a guy like Clint Capella or Marcus Smart, which are still on the board. You could make another trade for a different type of player. You could get Kevin Love back on the team from the Cavs. We'll see how that goes. They could absorb some cap. So do you do that, or do you risk trading away a lot of your young assets to get Kawhi Leonard on a 1-year rental, really try to win the championship this year, and then just kind of let things play themselves out later? Because you're going to have LeBron on this team regardless after this season. He's going to be with you guys for at least 3 years. So it might be smart to do the 1-year rental for Kawhi. And if he re-signs with the team or not after this season, it doesn't really matter, because LeBron's still going to be with you guys, and he's able to work magic. He's the best player on the planet, so it'll be able to be solved. But at the same time, I also think that it could end up being smarter to stay or not go after Kawhi. Instead, try to trade for, I guess more, it would be quantity over quality, although you are still getting somewhat quality with the quantity. So that could be smart for the long run for the Lakers, especially if they really do like their young assets. But we'll have to see. Before I sign off as well, check out the Grind Hours podcast on SoundCloud, hosted by Jolio, a good friend of mine. I will be appearing on there sometime today, and it should be out later on this week. We'll be talking some NBA basketball as well, so if you want more thoughts there, be sure to check it out. And for today, that is all the time we have on the Orange Globe. Don't forget, we are an NBA podcast and would not be anything without you. So follow us on Twitter at The Orange Globe to stay up to date. This has been episode number 1 of the Orange Globe, an NBA podcast brought to you by me, Dayton Brown. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again for tuning in.